Hello, everybody. What's up? What's up? Welcome to Political Vigilante. Political Vigilante. It's Sunday, May 24th. Let's put this on the tweeters. Let's put this on the tweeters that I'm live. Oh no, we want to do this one. Hello, Kelly, Mark, Meg, Truth to Tweet, Lawrence, Nexus, Jesus, Next Tunes. Hello, citizens of Gotham. Backyard Politics. What's up, Brian? Boom. Everybody see and hear me okay? Yeah, I'm not black. Yeah, I'm not voting for Joe Biden, so I guess I'm not black. It's a sad realization for all of us. Joe Biden said, I'm going to beat Joe Biden. Oh, PBS in Illinois is airing your First Nations comedy show. Oh, awesome, Mooscal. Right on. Yeah, I'd prefer you watch it there rather than the Amazon Prime. It's also streaming on Vimeo if you have Pluto TV. First Nations Comedy Experience. Look it up. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. I guess YouTube's still being weird in terms of telling me how many viewers and likes and all that stuff. Audio is fine. Hello from Detroit. Good to hear. Yeah, it's not telling me how many people are watching. God, it's being dumb again. What's up, Mattis? What's up, Anthony? Detroit, Motor City in the Heezy. In the Heezy. Sorry for the lateness. I was surfing at the beach today. Oh, they've sort of opened the beaches up. The parking lots are closed. They're telling people you can't lay down a towel or a thing. People still are, but everybody's spreading out. Felt good. It's nice. So I haven't done like a beach day surf session before a Sunday live stream in a while. It felt great to do it. 63 watching. All right. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Boo, 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 boo.
My name is John Chambers.
No. I don't want that. 80 watching now. All right. 27 likes. Got video freeze, or is it just me? I don't see any freeze on my end. Oh, now it is frozen. Shit. Why did that just freeze? Why is it frozen? It's not frozen in OBS. All right, it's back. Is it back? I was told that if I don't vote for Biden, I'm helping a fascist win. I wouldn't vote for Trump either. Thoughts? Yeah, we're going to hear that. I'm voting third party, and I'm explaining to people how bad they both systems are. So I'm back. Okay. Fixed it. All right. Yeah, I don't know why it just froze for some reason. Sorry. All right. 80 watching. Hit the like button. I froze for a second, but I'm back. All right. It's fine now. Good to see. Right on. Fixed it. Buddy's back. I was frozen, and then don't worry, that was just me being a jackass. No technical. No. That's just me being a jackass. Morning. What's up? Well, I was about to make a smoothie. And since I was already running late, I didn't want to delay the process. So I thought I would make a smoothie with you folks. You want to see me make the smoothie? I got to step off camera to show you each ingredient and do it. So first I have, my blender is this thing, right? So I use typically Blue Diamond, because they're usually the best priced, unsweetened vanilla almond milk, right? I don't want any extra nonsense in there. Shake it up. And I'm not a big like measure down to the ounce type of person. I just sort of feel it, man. About, let's see. Yeah, about like that. A little less, everything will get clumped in there. Look, do you want too much more? Boom, so there's that, about that much almond milk. This is like a, I don't know, maybe a 20 ounce thing. Okay, so that's how much we put there. Then I use hold on. I use this bee pollen. Now some strict vegans say no, this doesn't count. Now this is live reproductive. It's carefully captured and preserved from eco bee farms. So what it has is multivitamins, minerals, carotenoids, bioflavins, aminos, enzymes, and more. I just put just a hair of that guy in there. Also helps with inflammation. Got to keep it refrigerated. Then I put typically like this much frozen banana. It's like a half or a third frozen banana. That looks weird. Boom. So now we got that. And then, so today, and then I get these, sometimes I get, this batch I got actually from Costco, organic blueberries, and I just keep them frozen. And then, I can't do this on camera somehow, but I'll just, again, I just sort of feel it. So now, you can see, that's maybe a half cup, that's maybe a cup of blueberries in there. So there's the fill line. You don't want to get much more of that because this, I'll show you this, you screw this in and the blades go down, so you need room for the blades. Okay? All right? Where's my $40,000 refrigerator? Well, I just like refrigerators and I just like being a crazy lady. And I'm out of the powered greens, but I just got like, this is just frozen organic spinach. And again, I just pour a little, just some greens in there. And if you're like, oh, those greens, I don't like the taste of them, you will not taste this. They're not very, maybe a tablespoon or two of greens. You won't taste them with the fruit and everything. You won't. So look what we got there now. So you can see the blueberries, the bananas in there somewhere, the bee pollen and the greens on top. We're coming up on the max fill line. All right. Then we're going to put this back in the freezer. And then I'm going to go, the most critical part. Hold on, citizens. Hit the like button, folks. We're making a vegan smoothie. And then I use this Justin's Classic Peanut Butter Spread. I've just been using this. Sometimes there's an organic brand I mean. And then this was sent by one of you lovely fine folks. There's a natural Jif. I didn't realize this. You got to be careful though. This one has sugar in it. Be careful on it. I don't get sugar in my yeah. So the ingredients, dry roasted peanuts, palm oil. Boom. That's it. So again, I'll take like, again, it's just like I love peanut butter. It's about that much. And then I just put it right in there, guys. And then what's left on the spoon? Oh, shit. Oh, it tastes so good. Peanut butter is God's food. And then I switch up different, whatever kind of is on sale, but right now I just got this Vega. They make a good plant-based protein powder. You can get this one with protein and greens. I like one that has a lot of branched chain amino acids. It has a low amount of fat, 2.5 grams of fat, 0 cholesterol, only 6 carbohydrates, and only 1 gram of sugar and 20 grams of protein. So I take, again, just one scoop, boom. It's a little dust. I mean, you got to be careful. The protein powder can kind of get everywhere, man. It's like sand. And the thing I like about the Vega stuff tastes great. I've used this, that MRM brand, which I really like them as well. But Vega's good, and they've got chocolate and they've got vanilla, which tastes good. And then, so this is my Ninja blender. So then it has this thing, and you just screw it on like that. That's why I love to do this. Boom, and then it goes upside down like that. I'm gonna put it in the blender. I can't show you the blender, but it's gonna get loud for a second. In fact, I'll turn my microphone off so you don't hear it. And then boom, boom, and then you just take this off. Oh. Clear that off with a spoon. Oh man, it tastes good. Mmm. Oh man. And you just rinse it off. I rinse it off, and I have the brush thing that I rinse it off, because the thing is the protein powder and the peanut butter can really stick, so you want to make sure it stays clean. Because like, you can also put this in the dishwasher, which I love too. And then look, boom, little spill on the side. Voila, vegan smoothie. Mmm. Oh, it tastes so good. Cannabis leaf for your greens, bro. Okay, smoothies with Graham, outstanding. Oh. Yeah, I had to step off to... Oh, that was good. Hold on, my hands are wet. I'll be right back. But that's real simple, man. You bust out a smoothie. And the thing too... Oh, wow, this music is still on. That's great. Is... Especially like bananas, you know, when bananas start to get a little brown, cut them up, throw them in a bag or a container, put them in your freezer. Great for smoothies. What's up? Wow. Almond butter is better, and you can make your own. There doesn't have to be a competition between... You think almond butter is better. You like it better. That's fine. But almond butter is better. Like there's not a butter competition. Hemp hearts for your protein, man. No, yeah, I've used hemp protein before. Barf me out and gag me with a spoon. Okay. That smoothie looks awful. Huh? Tastes fantastic. It's sweet from the fruit. It tastes great. Brain freeze. Graham's Vegan Gun Secret. Loved Orange Julius growing up. Yeah, I had those in the mall where I was at. It is hard to milk the almonds. Yeah. Big butter always wins. Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of great hemp protein's good. There's like you can just get hemp protein or pea protein, PEA, not the dirty kind, which is good. Soy milk's okay. Some people are like, oh, soy is bad for you. Is it? Or is it those studies that were paid for by the dairy lobby to say soy was bad because soy milk was cutting into their profits? Do you eat, drink anything non-organic? Yeah. I try not to because I don't want pesticides in my food. And I also want to support organic farmers. But sometimes it's just impossible. You know. Got my eviction hearing notice today. Oh, shit, Marco, I'm sorry. My missus drinks almond milk. Yeah, I put almond milk on my cereal. Could you stick that in a soft serve ice cream machine? Boy, I don't know. Super chat. So Edwin Dunning, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. It's a great way to support the show. There's a little dollar icon. You can even just support the show with $1 or $2 like Edwin Dunning. Every little thing helps. Smoothie dinner or you have a salad later. This is like, it's only 3:30 here, so this is like my after workout. I always have a smoothie after I work out with protein. And then I'll usually end the stream around 5 o'clock, and then as soon as I'm done doing the live stream on Sundays, I'm usually pretty hungry, so then I have dinner around 5. And I try to go easy. I try not to eat a lot of carbs at night. So I'll have like a salad and some type of protein or rice and beans or something. God, smoothies are so good. Damn, that was good. That's good smoothie. I'm going to get some water. I'm going to use my Cubs World Series mug from 2016. Let's talk baseball coming back. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Like it up. Oh, the battery light's on. Give me 1 second. I got to change the battery on my mic. What's up? And then I use rechargeable batteries. It just use two AAA batteries powers my lavalier microphone. And I got this at a CVS. So if you do need to use AAA batteries for anything, I suggest getting rechargeable. And I bought this thing at CVS. I don't know what it was, 20 bucks. Came with like 4 batteries or something. Two AA and 2 AAA. Yeah, these are AA, sorry. Then you, boom, you plug it into the wall and charge them up. You charge them up. I've been growing my own, cooking herbs and mints. It's a fun and challenge. Stored organic beans. Oh, nice. Uhuru isn't considered black anymore by Joe Biden. Yeah, Joe Biden's out of his mind. Like, share, comment. Graham even drinks water at the clubs. Yes, I do. That segment was brought to you by the big kale industry. Look, man, I cannot confirm or deny any of Big Kale's involvement. I mean, I appreciate the Spinach Consortium donates because we share the same interests. Big Salad is involved. Hit the super chat button. Great way to support the show. Old Gringo, shave your knuckles for justice. Graham being supported with pennies by Big Smoothie. The smoothie lobby's got a lot of muscle, man. That's a lot of muscle. The smoothie industrial complex. SIC. It ties in everything. Big Kale. The organic fruit people. It's gnarly. Cureforcancer.co, shave your knuckles for justice. Do you still want this police state to take away more of people's guns? That's a fine question to ask. I gotta tell you, the idea of like some sort of armed civil war insurrection is terrifying to me. And I never said I wanted a police state to take away people's guns. I wanted gun regulation. Because people with a history of mental illness getting easy access to guns and unlimited ammo and all these mass shootings, that's wrong. We live in a sick society where that happens. That's a bad thing. And this like, I need my gun thing, the fact that they're like AR-15 ammo is sold out, that's a terrifying thought. That's just, you know, and I think the ruling class wants us to have, that's why they've never regulated it. The gun lobby has made all these profits. Every time there's a mass shooting, gun sales go up. So that just tells you why we haven't had any real regulation. And this like, gun owners think, my gun makes me, you know, I'm gonna survive, like the gun makes them invincible. It's a terrifying thought. I mean, if society collapses, the people with the guns, absolutely, they're going to benefit and they'll take advantage of it and we'll have an awful civil war. And I think the ruling class would love for us to have a civil war and kill each other. So That's my answer to your loaded question. J9 Campbell, shave your knuckles for justice. Sent Twitter to you, X Secret SVS talking Biden. Okay, let me check that out. Let me check that out. Is this My Hooliganism sent this? Is that who that is? Ex Secret Service talking Biden. Oh, yeah. Let me look at this. Oh, this is a 38-minute video. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check this out. I will check that out. Thanks, man. Thanks for sending me that. Thank you, J9 Campbell. Old Gringo, shave your knuckles for justice, Old Gringo. Fact, contrary to popular belief, most gun owners want more regulation. Yeah, it's funny. I have spoken to many gun owners. The loudest ones are the ones like, you can't take my guns. But yeah, when people can just go the loopholes and just buy guns anywhere, I just, it's dangerous. Do I want the cops to be the only ones with guns? No. Is the militarized police force scary? Absolutely. That doesn't mean I want everyone to have an AR-15. That line of thinking is insane. We have all these handgun deaths and all these people die, and I just like, and that like base fear of, well, then I need a gun. I'm personally not gonna fall into that. If society collapses and everyone's got a gun, then like species that don't evolve go extinct. So if the human race can't evolve past greed and war and killing, and then we're going to go extinct, and we should. And this like, I want to survive the apocalypse. I don't want there to be an apocalypse. I don't want to have to kill somebody for food or water. And if it gets to that place, I'm out. I'm punching out. Bye. I'm not going to get a gun to shoot my neighbor to take their food. That's crazy fear thinking. And again, I don't know that the gun owners, some of those nutbag gun owners, not every gun owner's a nutbag, but some of them are fucking nuts. They're fucking nuts. And those people think their gun makes them immortal. Like, I don't know. My doctor gives me a terminal illness, you know, now I'm going to shoot my dog. I'm going to shoot cancer. Cancer's not breaking in. Okay. Good luck. See how that gun works about COVID-19. See how that works. Every Evie, shave your knuckles for justice. Hi, Graham. I met you in Melbourne. Oh, I love Melbourne. Just first of all, as a city, it's a fantastic city. I've had so many great shows there. And also, the show we did in November, the Progressive Comedy Tour show, was so awesome. Caitlin Johnstone was there. We had like a sold out show. It was so fun. I met so many of you there. It was awesome. Hope you like that lemon, lime, and bitters drink I got you. Love the show. Please come back to Australia soon. I feel very safe in my country at the moment. Yeah. Because that's the thing about Australia. If it goes off, that, you know, everyone doesn't have a gun. This terrifying notion that everyone's got a gun and it'll just start shooting people. It's just fucking crazy. That's more terrifying. That's terrifying. Like, the average citizen, not that I don't trust my government either, but just like some citizen, some Alex Jones wingbird, I'm going to eat your ass. Like, oof, God, those gun-toting Trump supporters, they seem out of their minds. Those militia people, they seem crazy. They seem like people that are hoping society collapses so they don't have to play by the rules anymore. they seem like lunatics. Like they can't wait to be like cannibals. Like Alex Jones probably hopes society collapses because he's out of his mind. And that's the reason I'd like to live in Australia. Not that there aren't crazy people there, but everyone doesn't have a fucking gun there because they don't have the NRA in blocking every piece of sensible gun regulation. That's what we have here. So yes, thank you for that. I did love that lemon lime bitters drink. It was great. It was kind of like a, like those ginger brews, those non-alcoholic ginger brews. I love those too. I love those too. CareForCancer.co, shave your knuckles for justice. What if you and people who share your politics are deemed to have a mental illness for your views, like in the Soviet Union? There would be less handgun deaths if the war on... So there's two questions in here. Again, me saying I want gun regulation, you're automatically equating that I'm like, yay, I want a police state. That's not what I'm saying. Both things can exist. We need gun regulation and we need to end this, we're in this awful police state. There'd be less handgun deaths if the war on drugs were ended. I totally agree with that. That's part of it too. The private prison industry needs criminals. The pharmaceutical company doesn't want medical marijuana. They're buying up a lot of the medical marijuana farms because they want to own everything. And that's why they don't, any study that's like, oh, marijuana might help COVID-19, shut that down. We need you to buy an expensive drug. Absolutely, the war on drugs it's horrible. It just benefits the private prison industry, which needs criminals, so they're out to create one. And drug addiction is not a criminal issue, it's a health issue. Addiction, you talk to any recovery addict, it's like, and obviously the conservatives always go, oh, so we should just let everybody shoot heroin in the streets and steal everything. No, nobody's saying that. Saying if they commit a violent crime, then they're prosecuted for that violent crime. But we're not getting at the root of addiction. Most addiction comes from some type of child abuse. So we're not getting at the root of all that. If we were to actually have a compassionate country, everyone wouldn't need all of these guns. Capitalism keeps us divided. If people had decent jobs and we had free healthcare and free college and guaranteed jobs and UBI and all this combination, I've said a federal jobs guarantee and UBI together, right? So you had a federal jobs guarantee. If that job ended, then you would get UBI until you got another job, right? If we had all those things, how many crimes would there be? How many people, if we had a more just society, how many people would need addiction? How much domestic abuse and child abuse has some type of financial component to it, right? There's money stress at home. It creates this tension. Oh, I can't pay my bills. I lost my job, so my kid's an expense, or my spouse, or whatever. Like, how much? I bet you all those numbers would start to come down. And if we treated drug addiction as a health issue, like we don't arrest diabetics for trying to score insulin, right? So if we treated and got at the root core of addiction, then it would help all of these things. There would be less crime. People wouldn't feel like we need all these guns, but the media needs everybody is scared and afraid and buying a gun, and they want us all alone in our homes barricaded with a gun. You know? They need us in that state. They absolutely need us in that state. Evie. Shave your knuckles for justice. You should look up Port Arthur, Australia's biggest mass shooting. Guns were banned thereafter, and we haven't had a mass shooting since. Yeah, I heard about that. That was in the early 93, 94, something like that. And I remember they passed all this sweeping gun legislation, and the majority of Australians were like, I don't want all these automatic. We don't want them. And there was no NRA to block that legislation. Right? And then the Second Amendment people always pointed, like 3 or 4 years ago, a guy came to a police station with a knife and the cops had to shoot him. And it was like, well, yeah, a wingnut with a knife. attacked cops at a police station. Okay. And had he had a gun, he would have killed a bunch of them instead of just injuring them. I mean, when I travel around the world and I talk to people from other countries and they ask me about them, they're just like perplexed at the mass shootings. They're just like, what? And the solution is, well, teachers need to have guns. That is a form of insanity. America's so off the rails. We've been living in this oppressive, abusive society. We don't even realize it. Americans are like children living in an alcoholic home. And the parents, the two parents are the Republican, one parent's a Republican, one's a Democrat. And they get us to fight with each other and lie and thing, and they keep the kids divided, fighting with each. That's what it is. We've been so, this is such an, so we think it's normal. There's 500,000 people living on the street. We think it's normal that mass shootings are normal. It's just a part of life. Bombing poor countries and killing poor people, we think it's normal. 90% of Obama and Biden's drones, 90% of their casualties were civilians, unintended targets. We just got to put up with that. And then you mentioned, we should probably have some gun regulation. You're not taking my guns. Never said take your guns. We need regulation. You don't need 10,000 rounds of ammo. You don't need that. You don't need that. And America is an embarrassment. The whole world right now is going, Jesus. Look at how America, the richest, most powerful country, is handling this pandemic. It's insane. We have a sick culture. We have an obesity epidemic. We don't even eat healthy food. We eat shitty food. And when you bring that up, oh, you're fat shaming. I'm not fat shaming. I'm saying that's another addiction. We have a bunch of addicts in this country. Addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol, addicted to food, addicted to fear. We don't want to deal with it. We just want to sit there and blame it. That's what an addict does, by the way. Addicts never take responsibility. It's always somebody else's fault. And look at our healthcare system, our for-profit healthcare system. We're addicted to this toxic capitalism. We're addicted to it. It's insane. It's a form. We are living in an insane country. History is going to look at this era of America and go, what the fuck? Right? I don't even understand. I can't even. Pat the Batman fan, shave your knuckles for justice. No weapons aboard, recovered alien craft at Roswell. Yeah, they had no weapons. They were just coming to check us out. Oh. That's the other thing too. Yeah, if an alien is sophisticated, and if they can fly intergalactic travel, if they can make it to this planet, then they would have the technology to wipe us out if they wanted to. And your AR-15 ain't going to do that. And your AR-15 is not going to prevent climate collapse. It's not going to stop COVID-19. It's not going to stop climate collapse. When the sea rise levels, then it's like, I need a gun to survive that apocalyptic nightmare. Great. Good luck. I hope the human race gets wiped out, because I don't want it. I don't want Alex Jones types keeping the human race going. If that's all we got left, then we got to punch out. We tried, we couldn't figure it out. Old gringo, shave your knuckles for justice. America started out on the wrong foot. Slavery, killing, stealing land. Even our flag is based on a corporation, East India Company. Yeah, I know. And we're such a juxtaposition. We start out with slavery, genocide, stealing land from natives, all that stuff. And yet, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights are brilliant documents. Like, the idea of America is perfect. But a lot of that representative government came from the Iroquois Nation. Ben Franklin got it from the Iroquois Nation. They got it from a lot of different places, but that was a big part of it, representative government. you know, the idea that there's this justice system that's blind and everyone has a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those are just fantastic ideas. There's no caste system. But it's never really been implemented. And it was built, like you say, on lies and blood and stealing and slavery. And it's just like the whole like make America great again is, I'm always like, when was America so great? When we had slaves? When we stole land from indigenous people? When we committed that genocide? Was that when America was great? Or when women couldn't vote? When women were second? Was that when black people had to sit on the back of the bus? Is that when we were great? Japanese internment camps. Is that when America was great? Is that when things were so good? When the Pinkertons were, you know, killing labor strikers? Is that when it was good? When we formed the CIA, is that when it was really good? When we're bombing 7 countries, is that when America was really great? When was it so great? Even if Trump was caught sodomizing roadkill while smoking crack. Sodomizing roadkill while smoking crack. That's got to be a punk rock song. That has to be a lyric in a punk rock song. Anyway, his followers would still line up to swallow his toxic emissions from the Cheeto Vienna sausage. Absolutely. They're out of their minds. And same thing with the like Biden-Obama crew. The Vote Any Blue Will Do gang who thinks Hillary's great and Obama and Biden are great. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Obama dropped more bombs than Bush. Yeah, but he's better than Trump. Whoa. Okay. What did George Carlin say? Being born gives you a ticket to a freak show. Being born American gives you a front row seat. I just want a more equal society. These billionaires stash their cash in tax havens. Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, man, if the Second Amendment people and the militia said we're actually going to unite to go get billionaires, you got my vote, man. That I'm on board with. But if it's I'm going to kill people that don't look like me, or I want to eat my neighbor's ass, like Alex Jones says, then I don't even. I can't even. Yeah. Carlin was so right on so many things. I want a ban on billionaires. We have a minimum wage. Why not a maximum? Absolutely. Thailand is slowly and safely opening as yet, not completely open. Okay. Graham, really hope to see you in Portland in November. Really bummed we missed you in April. Yeah, I know. Ron and I are working on the live dates to see what we can do and all that stuff. So, you know, so much of the research that I'm seeing on COVID is about like enclosed spaces, close proximity to people, and like, you know, there has to be some kind of treatment therapy for it. A vaccine, I don't know. That seems like way pie in the sky. There's not a flu vaccine. There's not a cold vaccine. Well, there's flus that for certain strands of the flu, and they, you know, but yeah, I just need, because that's the only way to go travel on the road is to get on planes and in closed spaces. And I know they're going to make everyone wear masks, and they're claiming to wipe everything down and all that stuff. And everything at the airports has got to be cleaner. Okay, if they do all those things, but it's still like in a plane for 3-4 hours. Then we're in a comedy club, and even if they spread people out, like it's still like, and God, no, I want to go on the road. I want to do live shows, but I hope we'll be up and running by November, if not sooner. I hope so. Believe me, I hope so. I love the show. Makes me feel good to know there are others that think like me. Yeah, that's what it's about. Adam Carolla started touring in Texas this week. The floodgates are opening. Well, I'm going to see if any of those comics get sick. There was that guy, I forget his name, it was on Joe Rogan, who talked about he was traveling doing shows. And, you know, Rogan was making the point about when you get run down, that's when your immunity level is down. He's made the equation of like your immunity system is like an army. So when your army's at full strength, it can weather the storm of the invading, you know, virus or whatever. When it's lower, then it's easier. And that's just anytime I've ever gotten sick, just regular old cold or flu, it's usually traveling, it's usually not getting enough sleep and all that stuff. When you go on the road, it's like hard to, you know, so that's the thing I'm like, you know, that's the thing I'm thinking about. What's up, Karen? Woohoo! Bezos took away the employees' hazard pay. God, what an awful psycho. People are too worried about paying bills. Who has time to revolt, and how are you going to do that when your local police department has and will exercise whatever force they want to keep you in check? Yeah. Farkas Garvey, shave your knuckles for justice. Funny how the right thinks cops are tyrants now. Yeah, I know. We're seeing all these things change. The people on the right are like, my body, my choice with COVID-19. They're holding that up like, oh, so you're pro-choice now. All the, you know, Blue Lives Matter gang is like, the cops are tyrants. Oh, so you don't like authority figures with guns and badges telling you what to do. Interesting. Interesting. Excuse me. Kush Renata, what's up, Kush? Want a way to pay for UBI? Every company that does business with the U.S. gets taxed 10% of gross annual profits. Amazon, Netflix, etc. Imagine the money. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, we can also pay for it the way we just pay for everything. Just the Fed just pays for it. All these companies need to be taxed, especially like Amazon, man. They've making Jeff Bezos has made somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 to $30 billion just in this last 2.5 months of the pandemic. And last year and the year before that and the year before that, they paid $0 in taxes. It's ridiculous, man. All right, let's do a segment. Boom, 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 boom. Let me check everything over here. Okay, cool. Let me just make sure. Make sure that's recording. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button. The like button. 295 watching, 170 likes. Please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Boo. Old Gringo, shave your knuckles for justice. MMT reminder, federal taxes for revenue is obsolete. New York Federal Reserve Chair Beardsley Rummy in 1946. Thanks for bringing that up. I have an MMT playlist. Please watch that. If you want to learn more about MMT, watch that entire playlist. The most recent video I did with Jeff Epstein, not the one who hung himself with a paper t-shirt, the one that is with Citizens Media TV, where he goes into more detail and helps bring more knowledge to myself about the Federal Reserve and the Treasury as it relates to MMT. Please watch that. Very, very, he woke me up 2 years ago, Jeff did, and then he's introduced me to people like Fidel Kaboob and Stephen Hale, Stephen, who I got to meet in Adelaide, Australia. That tour in November was so great. So great for so many reasons. But yeah, check that out. Hit the like button, citizens of Gotham. All right, kitty cats, here we go. Segment, hot, fresh segment. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Look at it. Look at that. Pat the Batman fan made that. Rising up from Gotham. A bat with the fangs of truth swooping in to make Gotham great again. So, we have talked on this show about Venezuela. Earlier in the month, we saw that ridiculously failed coup that Trump, I don't know what happened, with that company, that private intelligence company or private security company with a bunch of ex-military people. Clearly, it was a CIA op that went bad, right? So we've been sanctioning Venezuela. Just to give everybody a little backstory, Venezuela has the #1 oil reserves in the world. And starting in the late 90s, with Chavez, he said, I'm gonna nationalize the oil. And he did, and he started giving his citizens up, brought all these people out of poverty, put all these social programs out there. And we said, oh, he's a terrorist because he wouldn't give oil to us. Maduro came in after Chavez, and we've been saying the same thing about Maduro. And are there legitimate criticisms about Maduro and Chavez? Absolutely. I'm sure there are. You could say they've done this. Absolutely. But the reality is, this is another country like Iran that won't give America its oil, so we make them the enemy. We have no business talking about a single dictator when we are huge allies with the Saudi Arabians. We are so hypocritical. We can't sit there and talk about, does Venezuela poison its water? Does it shoot tear gas? Was it Venezuela's army that paid for Tiger Swan to be at Standing Rock and use anti-terrorist tactics on the American people who just wanted clean, drinkable water? Some of them Native Americans who didn't want a pipeline going through their land. It's a sovereign land. Did Venezuela do that? No. Did Venezuela poison the water in Flint, Michigan? No, they did not. It's all about the oil. That's why we don't like Syria. Again, is Assad some loving guy? Probably not. Are there things to be critical of him? Sure. But the real reason for Syria is not that Assad is a brutal dictator that gasses his own people. No, those chemical weapons came from us. The OPCW reports, we've seen all that on this show. It's the pipeline. Iran and Russia got a pipeline through Syria. Saudi Arabia and America wanted a pipeline, and we still want a pipeline through Syria. Syria won't let us. That's what that war is all about. So what's been happening? We've been sanctioning Venezuela. What have they done? They've started working with Iran. The flag of Iran has been raised in Venezuela as thanks for the gasoline that is being delivered to the Venezuelan people. Because we've been, and I'm going to get into it, we've been sanctioning, we are denying Venezuela from getting any of the elements that you need to refine oil, right? So they can't, we won't let them refine their oil. And we're doing this in the middle of a pandemic, by the way. So Iran breaks through U.S. blockade to deliver oil to Venezuela. This is in the Telesur. People, oh, Telesur's state funded. Yeah, it is. But we're getting a side of it we can't get anywhere else. That's why I watch RT. I've been on RT. It's state media, but our media is, you know, when like I remember seeing Chris Hedges on MSNBC promoting his book, America the Farewell Tour. And they're like, well, it's great to have Chris Hedges, who's on RT, which is funded by its Russian state media. And I really wanted Chris Hedges to go, oh, thank you for having me on MSNBC, which is funded by the military-industrial complex, big pharmaceutical, the oil lobby, and the war machine. So this is what happened. The ship arrived on Saturday in Venezuela waters and was escorted by boats, helicopters, and planes from the Bolivian National Armed Forces. Because we've been blocking this, and we're trying to act like, what's so offensive is we're acting like this is some sort of Cuban Missile Crisis thing. That was a legitimate threat back in the 60s. Russia was going to put warheads on Cuban soil. So 90 miles from America's coast was going to be warheads pointed at us. We don't want that. We're the only ones who are allowed to point warheads at people all over the planet. No one else can. The United States prevents the South American country from importing chemical additives, supplies, and spare parts necessary for the refining of its oil. So they're having to import gasoline ready to go because you got to get oil, you got to refine it, go through this whole process to turn it into gasoline. Honestly, I hope Venezuela just goes green and says, we don't need it anymore. Wouldn't that be great? All these people we sanction with oil and they just go, okay, fine. Like, I wish Iran would just go, nah, we're going green. We're going to be done with oil in 15, 20 years. We're off. We're done. You guys fight over the oil. We don't want it. We're done. That's what you do. If any of the leaders of those countries are watching this show, I don't know if they are. I don't know if they like watching surfer comedians with vegan guns, but if you are, that's what you should do. That's because, let me just why I say that. And I'm going to give you an example that might seem crazy, but it makes sense. So I came up in show business. I needed to be hired by TV networks and comedy clubs and movie studios, and they have all this power over you, right? If you piss off this, you don't get here. One of the reasons so many comedians got into the digital space doing podcasts and YouTube shows is I have complete control over this. I determine my money. I determine my fan base. Now, Google is like basically an arm of the CIA. So YouTube can stifle you in many ways, but that's why Rockman gets created. That's why Ron Placone and I started doing the Progressive Comedy Tour, because we knew we were so, you're beholden. I hope this club hires me. And the only power you really have as a comedian is if you have an audience, if you can sell a number of tickets. The more tickets you can sell on the road, the more power you have. So a lot of us comedians have had to figure out other ways to circumvent, and I don't want to deal with Hollywood. I don't want to deal with their corruption, the fact that Weinstein, everybody knew about Weinstein, Epstein has all these ties, there's pedophiles, there's demon worshippers, all this awful sick shit in Hollywood. And I've had TV shows, and Graham, you're part of the family, and then the show gets canceled, and I'm gone, I'm out of work, and I'm just sitting there, boom, I'm done. So I say that's my personal experience. That's what I would do if I was a world leader. I would see the writing on the wall. We can't use oil anymore. It's killing the planet. Let's go green. All these wars, all this crap is all started because of oil. And I get it. If you're a country like Venezuela or Iran, you've got literally all this money underneath you, and you need that money to keep your economy going and all this other stuff. But I'd be thinking long term. It's what Dubai did. Dubai went, look, we know we're going to run out of oil 30, 40 years down the road. So let's turn our place into a tourist zone. That's what they did. I would say let's make our country green, completely green. We're done with oil. Anyway, back to this. We're sanctioning Venezuela, not because Maduro's a brutal tyrant dictator. Oh, they showed the empty shelves in Venezuela. Oh, wow, we've had a bunch of empty shelves for 2 months here during the pandemic. People can't get this supply, that supply. There's people starving in America right now. There's third world country conditions in America. On the Indian reservations, all throughout not just the reservation, all throughout the country. The UN did a study 2 years ago showing there's third world conditions in America. That's how we treat our people. In the middle of a pandemic, there's people dying because they don't have health care. We're evicting people. We don't care. You can't pay your rent. Only if they say you can't evict you for 3 months. Oh, great. So when this ban lifts, everyone's going to have 3 months of back rent? Let's say your rent is, I don't know, you live in an expensive city like LA where your rent is $2,000 a month. That's $6,000 a month. And let's say they say, oh, you have a year to pay it back. That's $500 a month. So now your rent goes from $2,000 to $2,500 a month to pay that off. What are you going to do? Anyway, our sanctions of Venezuela are all about oil. Venezuela cannot purchase US-made replacement parts to upgrade its refineries. The Trump administration persecutes any company that wants to support Venezuela and its oil industry. So a bunch of people have fled Venezuela because it's making the situation brutal there. And has the government done brutal things? Probably. I wouldn't doubt it. But we created that situation. Everyone, oh, we need the border wall. We need the border wall. We create sanctions. If we weren't sanctioning Venezuela, it wouldn't be so bad there. People wouldn't need to leave. We've done all this throughout Latin America. We've created all these awful situations. We could be helping the world. We're in the middle of a pandemic and we're doing this. UN military threat against Iranian tankers posits a global risk. So now, Iran and Venezuela defying the U.S., God, that's causing, I mean, that makes me nervous, but the U.S. causes all these problems. How dare Venezuela build a country above American oil? How dare you do that? The U.S. Peace Council Saturday warned that the U.S. military threat against Iranian tankers approaching Venezuela is an act of international piracy. Yeah, we're the pirates. We're hijacking. This country needs gasoline to survive. Another country is selling it, and we're saying no? And we're just flexing our military muscle saying no? What if somebody did that to us? What if a tanker full of N95 masks was coming into the port of LA from China? And Iran or Venezuela or somebody said, no, you don't get that. Russia said, no, you don't get those masks. And a bunch of more of our people died because they blocked that. America would lose its shit. Which would easily escalate into a multinational war. But why do I know this is all about oil? They've been talking about this for decades. But here's John Bolton, Trump's former security advisor. This is before him and Trump had their little lover spat. Listen to this.
We're looking at the oil assets. That's the single most important income stream to the government of Venezuela. We're looking at what to do to that. We want everybody to know we're looking at all this very seriously. We don't want any American businesses or investors caught by surprise. They can see what President Trump did yesterday. We're following through on it.
So if you think of a company like Citgo, which is owned by PDVSA, which is the state-run oil company there in Venezuela, we have a lot of those Citgo assets right here in the U.S. Is that something, for example, sir, that you're looking at?
Yeah, look, we're in conversation with major American companies now that are either in Venezuela or in the case of Citgo here in the United States. I think we're trying to get to the same end result here. You know, Venezuela is one of the three countries I call the troika of tyranny. It'll make a big difference to the United States economically if we could have American oil companies really invest in and produce the oil capabilities in Venezuela. It'd be good for the people of Venezuela. It'd be good for the people of the United States. We both have a lot at stake here, making this come out the right way.
He just said it. This is like last year. Oh, it's about American oil companies. So Venezuelan oil companies aren't allowed to make a profit off of Venezuelan oil, but American oil companies are. That's what he just said. That's what he just said. That's what he just said. It's unbelievable. So before we go, I want to watch this. I want to show you this. I want to show you this famous Hold on, I want to get this thing from... There we go. This one. So I want to show you this. Cut this out, Joe. So if you're wondering what all this war talk with Venezuela and Iran is really about, it's about money, it's about oil. How do we know this? The highest ranking, most decorated general in the Marine Corps said this back in the 30s. The author of the book, War is a Racket, Major General Smedley Butler.
Smedley Butler, a U.S. Marine Corps General Major who was the most decorated Marine at the time of his death, stated it well when he wrote,
I spent 33 years and 4 months in active military service, and during that period, I spent most of my time as a high-class muscle man for big business, for Wall Street and the bankers. In short, I was a racketeer, a gangster for capitalism. I helped make Mexico safe for American oil interests. I helped make Haiti and Cuba a decent place for the National City Bank boys to collect revenues in. I helped in raping of half a dozen Central American republics for the benefit of Wall Street. I helped purify Nicaragua for the International Banking House of Brown Brothers. I brought light to the Dominican Republic for the American sugar interests. I helped make Honduras right for the American fruit companies. In China, I helped see to it that Standard Oil went on its way unmolested. Looking back on it, I might have given Al Capone a few hints. The best that he could do was operate his racket in 3 districts. I operated on 3 continents. War is a racket. It always has been. A few profit and the many pay. But there is a way to stop it. You can end it by disarmament conferences. It can be smashed effectively only by taking the profit out of war.
It can only be smashed by taking the profit out of war. Venezuela is all about profit for American oil companies. Never forget that. The sanctioning of Iran is about the profit for American oil companies. You can be critical of either one of those governments, all you want, but you need to be critical of America's government first. If you're an American, you cannot pretend we're this good, friendly, nice country that just reacts to these bad guys. No. America is not a representative democracy. It is a kleptocracy run by oligarchs. And as long as war is for profit, we will keep the machine going so that a handful of few, the 1%, can profit while all of us suffer. War crushes the average person. It kills families. We have 22 vets a day that commit suicide in the United States because of all these wars in Iraq and Afghanistan and this 5 other countries. We're in wars in 7 countries. Obama had 65,000 special op troops throughout Southern America during his time in office. They come back with PTSD. Were they fighting for freedom? No, they were fighting for Standard Oil, like John Bolton said. They're fighting for Boeing, the stock price to go up. That's what you're fighting for. And who's getting hurt in the process? Average working class people in these countries, many of them poor countries. Wake up to the reality, folks. That's why you get your news here. They're not telling you this on MSNBC and Fox and CNN because Boeing and Shell Oil and all those companies buy ad time on those networks. That's why that journalist wasn't going to ask John Bolton any tough questions, because she's paid by billionaires. That's why she's a millionaire. So she's paid to get favorable coverage. Ask a couple of softball questions that are fake hardball questions. One little, oh, that's a tough question. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's telling the batter, I'm going to go throw one kind of near your chin to make you, but the next one's coming right down the plate and you can knock it out of here. Thanks for watching the show. You're making Gotham great again. Shave your knuckles for justice. What's up? What's up? General Smedley Butler single-handedly saved American FDR from a fascist coup by top industrialists. Yep, that's absolutely correct. Yeah, don't join the military, but it's tough because we have economic conscription. I was in when I went to Afghanistan in 04, 06, and 07, and then I was in Iraq 2007, 2008, and 2011. Especially I saw it in 7 and 8 and 11. All these military folks who were like, I re-enlist. I said, why'd you re-enlist? I needed the money. They gave me a $10,000 or $20,000 re-enlistment bonus. There was no jobs back in fill-in-the-blank town that lost all of its jobs because of NAFTA and the TPP and crap like that. So, what were the choices? Work at a place like Walmart or McDonald's for $9 an hour, or whatever the minimum wage in that state or town is, somewhere between $7 and $10 an hour. Join the military. At least I get my college paid for. I get some kind of pension. I get bonuses. I get free health care. Or, you know, deal opioids. Be a criminal. Those are the options. Those are the options. So, and it's because war is a racket. Never had hair in my knuckles. Well, get some knuckle implant, hair implants, just so you can shave them. That's what you need to do. Yeah, Trump said he was anti-war, another thing. CureForCancer.co, shave your knuckles for justice. Thank you for supporting the show. The world is enslaved to a police state created by the U.S. victory in World War II. The world is ruled by the U.S. and its bankers. 1 million people from around the world became U.S. citizens every year. Earth is a big plantation. Yeah, I know. I know. We won World War II. Well, we had a lot of help from Russia and the UK, but we claimed we did it. And then we've just played off of that. We're the good guys that saved you from Hitler, and now we've become this awful imperialist. But as Smedley Butler said, we were doing it even before World War II. God, it's brutal. Nazik Hook. What's up, Nazik? Shave your knuckles for justice. Keep the conspiracies coming. Can't have enough. You got it. 261 watching, 205 likes, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button. Like button, like button. What do I think of Tulsi now, Graham? She sold us out. Bernie sold us out. AOC sold us out. I'm done. I don't give a shit. I don't trust her. I don't trust any of them. There's the progressive leadership inside the Democratic Party is a complete joke. It's a complete joke. They want to tweet these things and make these videos, but they're not going to pass any real legislation. Yeah. I was done with the Democratic Party a while ago. This 2020 election was the last chance, and I thought people really were going to fight and realized how severe it was. And I thought the pandemic was really going to make people wake up, especially Bernie and his team. Nah. They buckled. They buckled. In the most critical moment, they all buckled. I don't give a shit. I have no respect for them now. None. None. They're all just politicians. There's just varying degrees. They're backing Joe Biden. I got no respect for you. None. You're not. You won't call out the corruption of your own party because Trump's bad. That's the problem. The Democratic Party and the people on the left that support them, the absolute refusal to acknowledge how bad Obama was is why we have Trump. This absolute crazy drug addict style denial. It's like a junkie with track marks going, I don't have a problem with heroin. You've lost your job. You're in and out of prison. I do a little heroin. Stop, get off my back. They won't ignite. And you're looking at them like, you're a fucking heroin addict. Get help. Obama wasn't that bad. Really? I mean, these are statistics. All I have is facts. That's all I have is facts. So if you're backing Biden, you are saying the 8 years of Obama and Biden dropping more bombs than Bush, you're saying you're okay with that. You're saying you're okay with Obama and Biden deporting 3 million people. They built the cages at the border. They started separating families at the border. Everyone on the left's outrage over Trump, okay, fine, be outraged at that, it was awful. Conveniently forgot or didn't care or didn't want to hear that Obama and Biden started that. Gave the banks almost $1 trillion and still 6 million foreclosures happened and never held the banks accountable, didn't prosecute anybody. In Iceland, they prosecuted the bankers, put CEOs in jail. Again, these are facts. This is not conspiracy time. These are facts. Obama and Biden opened up the Arctic to drilling twice. Claimed to care about the environment, but then Obama stopped the Keystone Pipeline, but then left it open for them to put it in place. And they did. He could have said, no, it's never happening. I'm passing this law. They had control of the House and the Senate, and they did not. And the Keystone Pipeline leaked over 380,000 gallons of oil in the Dakotas. Obama could have prevented that. He did not. He made the Bush tax cuts permanent. Him and Biden did that. And if you're going to say, well, the VP doesn't have any real power, then that's another lame excuse. That's another lame excuse. That's another lame excuse. If Dick Cheney was running, everyone on the left would be screaming about Dick Cheney, and rightfully so. What else? I mean, I could go on and on. What else? Oh, Chelsea Manning. Put Chelsea Manning in jail, had her tortured, commuted her sentence. Everyone on the left said, oh no, that commuted sentence means they could put her back in jail, and they did. 90% of Obama and Biden's bombs, 90% of their casualties were civilians, unintended targets. That's horrific. That is horrific bloodshed. Again, worse than Bush, who's a war criminal and should be in prison. So Tulsi Gabbard's going to back this guy? She could have at least waited till the whole Democratic Party folded, and then she could have said, yeah, I guess. But you're just telling me you have no integrity. You have nothing. You have nothing. Bernie has no integrity. AOC, I don't care about any of them. Tulsi and Bernie owe me money. I donated to their campaigns. They owe me money. So I don't give a damn about Tulsi. She's signing some bill now to help with this. Who gives a shit? When the general strike happens in the yellow vest and I see any of those clowns marching, if they try to march next to me, I will scream at them. Get the fuck away from me. Get out of here. The Democratic Party is an absolute joke. AOC has 6.3 million Twitter followers and doesn't have the stones to call out Pelosi and her own party. She used to a year ago when she first got in the party, she was doing it, but they got her mind right. They straightened her out. She has all this power and will just concedes it. Same with Bernie. They're all sellouts. I don't have respect for any of them. I don't give a shit about any of them. I will never vote for any of them. This lesser of two evil crap is still evil. The two parties are the problem. Reforming the Democratic Party from within is like joining a drug cartel and hopefully getting them to stop selling poisonous drugs that murder people and kill families and stop the raping and the beheading and the awful stuff that the cartel's doing. And let's get them to start selling vegan smoothies. I know if I just could have gotten involved in one of those drug cartels, I know I could have switched them to, I could get I could get the Mexican mafia or the Russian mafia. If I got in those, I could definitely reform them. I could get inside the Russian mafia and say, hey, stop with the human trafficking and let's just start, making solar panels and, we'll traffic sustainable yoga mats instead. That's how ridiculous it is to think you can reform the Democrat. They're talking now, well, next year, 4 years from now. We don't have 4 years from now. Tulsi knew that. Bernie knew that. And they talked this serious game, and I took them at their word of like, hey, climate change is real. We don't have time for this. Bernie's putting out these tweets. I don't give a shit about you blew it. You choked for Joe Biden. Look at what on and on. Joe Biden is a rapist with dementia. You backed a rapist with dementia. Who are you? I don't give a shit. I'm done. I'm done. Don't tell me how bad Trump is when you refuse to acknowledge all the awful things Obama did that I just listed. They didn't want to come on my show. They won't. None of them will. They're all done. They won't even go on Jimmy's show anymore. They're all full of it, man. Ugh. I'm glad she never came on the show and became my friend. I might have fallen for that nonsense. That's the thing I'm sick of the most. I watched her use friends of mine and get smart, intelligent friends of mine to make excuses for because she texts them. I'm glad she doesn't have my number. I don't want her text. I don't want Bernie's text. I don't want any of them. I don't want to be friends with AOC. I don't want to be friends with any of them. That's my answer to your question. Mock Racy, shave your knuckles for justice. Did you watch David Pakman on Joe Rogan? No. Ugh, what a bummer. Pakman wants to be on MSNBC. I don't know the guy personally, and I don't really watch his stuff, but the handful of things I watch, I go, why does he just wants to get a job on MSNBC. Why are you doing your own YouTube channel if you just want to be a neoliberal? I guess it's just an audition tape for MSNBC. I don't want to be on MSNBC. If they offered me a job, I'd say, sure. And I'd say whatever they wanted me to say till the big checks cleared, and then I would start. Once the checks cleared, I'd be like, gloves off. Melissa Petrovich. What's up, Melissa Petrovic? Thanks for being you. And Melissa, thanks for being you. CureForCancer.co, shave your knuckles for justice. You're lying about the grade school crossing guard talking to the cartel should be a video in and of itself. Don't you see that nonviolent resistance is futile? That is why they promote it in the schools. If I didn't know any better, I would think you were private intelligence trying to get me to say something crazy that the FBI could arrest me for. If I didn't know any better. Thanks for supporting the show. I don't think you realize what's standing in front of this camera, where I'm at. I am for peaceful nonviolent resistance. You can keep supporting the show and saying that. I'll take it. I'll answer any one of your questions, but I don't think you understand how the FBI works. You're a position with any sort of following, and you advocate for anything like that? Get a friend. This police state that you're so afraid of, what do you think they're going to do to the PV? See the big picture. Already is starting the Russian interference BS. Of course, yeah. I'm literally Googling this as soon as the stream is over. Here's an announcement I need to make. So, because of saying certain things during my live stream, so normally what I've been doing, the whole 3 years I've been doing this show, I live stream, and then it stays as an archive, like it's a regular video that you can watch whenever you want to. So if you miss the live stream part of it or whole of it, you can watch it. All right. So, and they're demonetizing a bunch of my live streams in the archive because, like, I had a video about this Chinese doctor who was doing research on COVID. That they pulled it down. They, a month ago, just cut my live stream midstream, and somebody's asking me about this crossing guard shit. Wake it up. I'm not just some guy. We're not talking in a bar. I have 68,000 subscribers. People are watching me. So because of that, they just pulled that video. Didn't demonetize it. Pulled it. It's available on rockfin.com/GrahamElwood, and they've been demonetizing and pulling down some of my live streams. So what I'm going to start doing with my live stream is what Jimmy does. So as soon as this live stream's over tonight, the whole live stream will be available. The video of it will be available at the $10 level on Patreon, and the audio will be available at the $5 level. I wish I could put the whole video available on Rockfin, but Rockfin right now doesn't have the capacity to put big files like a 2-hour live chat video file. It doesn't have the capacity to do that. If the audio file can be supported on Rockfin, then I will at least put the audio podcast of this live stream available for Rockfin Premium. So I'm going to have to start doing that now. I apologize. I'm sorry. You could the stream on YouTube will always be free as long as they're allowing me to do this. Yeah, YouTube likes to promote CNN and Fox. I need to figure out how to stream Rockfin on my TV. Oh, that's a good point. If Rockfin isn't owned by Google now, won't they be soon? That's the thing I keep saying about Rockfin. It's blockchain, and they pay us in Ray tokens, right? Which is a type of cryptocurrency. So all of the content creators, we're all owners. So it is impossible, and they set this up deliberately. Martin, the creator of Rockfin, he knows what he's doing. He's done a lot of streaming. He's done sports. He's done a lot of stuff. He's like, Graham, I know what I'm doing. I know the value of content creators. He said, so it's set up. Google can literally, it's impossible for them to buy Rockfin. That was by design. That's why I keep pushing it so hard. They don't censor anything that I say. I can play music. There's no copyright issues. Every Monday night, 8 o'clock Pacific, I do a Rockfin live stream for the premium members. And I'll put 1 or 2 in the future for free for everybody. But right now, if you're a $10 a month, go to rockfin.com/GrahamElwood. You can sign up and get all the premium content. Rockfin is the future. I can say whatever I want there. Yay for broke people. Look, I understand everyone's in a lot of, and there's a lot of good folks on Rockfin. Graham, when is Rockfin getting off Amazon Web Services? That I don't know. Yeah, YouTube. No, you don't need to pay to watch us. That's not I put all my videos, if you just go to rockfin.com, all the videos that are up for free on YouTube are also for free on Rockfin. You just need to sign up and create an account. Some videos are behind the premium paywall, which is $10 a month. So you don't have to pay for that if money's tight. There's plenty of free ways to get the show. This live stream was always free. You just got to watch it live. You want to watch an archive version? I got to put it behind a paywall because YouTube is screwing with me. All this free videos, all this free content doesn't cost you a penny. It'd be nice if you would watch the ads all the way through, but you don't even have to do that if you don't want to. So I understand. Yeah, Rockfin is free. Yeah, Rockfin's like YouTube. You know how there's a YouTube premium that you can pay? Rockfin has that same thing. Bunch of videos for free. And by the way, there's no ads. They don't even want it because they know bringing in ads, the advertisers' influence. Like YouTube, all these advertisers say, oh, it's not suitable. Your content isn't suitable for our whatever. Convo Couch is on Rockfin. Kim Iverson is starting to go on Rockfin. Jimmy is going to be on Rockfin. Ron Placone, Nico House, Jackson Facts, other shows are on Rockfin. I'm selling all my personal possessions, my whole Batman collection. Oh, wow. Any more virtual progressive comedy with Ron? Probably. Probably next Saturday. Pac-Man is a watch salesman. Funny. All right, let's do another segment. I'm going to wrap it up here, huh? Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Political Vigilante. You get your news here because the mainstream media is insane. MSNBC, CNN, or Fox. What is the rhetoric I've been talking about since this pandemic started? Oh, we got to blame China. We got to blame China. We got to blame China. The real reason we're blaming China is they went off the petrodollar and they used the petro yuan. I talk about this. Everything's about money, right? And also, China, Russia, Pakistan, India, a couple other Central Asian countries on March 13th, I believe, made an agreement to stop trading, buying and selling commerce with the US dollar. So two different countries that have two different currencies, what most countries have done throughout the world for the last 40, 50 years, has sold goods back and forth to each other using the US dollar. They made an agreement, we're not doing that anymore. Because we sanction Russia, we sanction China, and they're circumventing us. That's what Putin's done since the sanctions of Obama. That's why they had all this medicine and medical supplies when the pandemic hit. They shut down their borders. They have free healthcare, or almost free. It's like cost next to nothing. They started making their own products, growing their own food because they had to. And so they're just like circumventing. All right, America, you want to flex your force? All right, we're going to do this. But this is, I'm giving you this preface because this is why there's all this crazy hysteria blaming China for the virus, the Wuhan virus, the Chinese virus. Just listen to those words. Those are designed to keep you afraid and to play on racist stereotypes and make China evil and big and bad. They're overtaking us economically. So we have to try to blame them for everything. This is what America does. We act like a bunch of scared, crazy people with everything. So I saw this was put on Twitter. This is this woman on Fox News. She's some wingnut. I don't know who she is, but we're going to play her.
Models are out of control. The economy is out of control. China is the one that's out of control. We're not going to let you destroy this country or our way of life. We've worked too hard and we fought too long to lose it to a Wuhan. That's what I said, a Wuhan virus that China knew about, openly lied about, said it couldn't be transmitted from human to human, and intentionally protected Chinese citizens from the virus but allowed that virus to be released, putting the rest of the world at risk. You want to control people? You politicians want to flex your muscles? Well, start working on how you're going to punish, ostracize, alienate, and financially sanction and make China accountable for what they did to us and the rest of the world. But keep your damn hands off us and do something about what got us into this mess in the first place.
You mean like
That's my open.
the bioweapons that got released by Fort Detrick? Is that what she's talking about? The United States military pandemic simulation in 2019 that predicted COVID-19 and then did nothing about it? Is that what she's talking about? I bet you it is. I bet you it is. Huh. So here's this. Arrogant American Western points of view don't even understand this culture that we claim is, oh, we don't understand. That's absolutely true. I've been to China numerous times. The Chinese culture is always protected. They've always said, I study martial arts, right? Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was ostracized for bringing Kung Fu to the West. They were like, no, no, keep that secret. Keep it quiet. So China, again, do they have an authoritarian government? Sure, of course. Of course they do. But so does America in other ways. And look what we do. Yet another country that we're so threatened. America's just this scared, crazy, rich person with a gun. China's growing its economy. It's trying to take care of its 1.5 billion people. China doesn't want to overtake your country and roll tanks down Main Street. They want to sell you everything. And thanks to the Clintons and the Bushes and people like that, we've made everything, we don't make anything in America anymore. Our politicians, the Republicans and the Democrats, have let this happen for decades. There's the real reason. So when you hear that Wuhan Chinese virus, first of all, it's rooted in race. It's playing on racist fears. And it's, again, a complete misunderstanding of the Chinese culture. Right? And we don't have a leg to stand on. When we bomb the crap out of the Middle East, America kills thousands of people every day with our bombs and our sanctions. Every day. And China's the big bad guy? China's been going around spending money. They've gone through Africa and spent all this money on ports and docks and trains and stadiums and hospitals and all this stuff. That's what China does. We go there and fight and blow everything up. We could be doing that in Venezuela and Iran rather than war. We could have done that in Afghanistan and Iraq. Just giving the people nice things. Don't mess with us. We'll help you out. But no, again, he's right. The Western, the Christian mentality, I got to convert you. You got to believe in Jesus. If you don't believe in Jesus, take it personally and you're going to hell and all this crazy shit. I've never met a Buddhist who grew up in an Asian culture that forced their Buddhism on me. The only people who force Buddhism on you are typically white people who left Christianity and found Buddhism, and now it's some rich white lady with a $200 yoga mat telling you how Buddhism is better, and she tries to force it on you. Those are the only people who've ever been like, you need to be Buddhist. You need to be. I went to this Buddhist thing in Santa Monica like 10 years ago, and they were doing this. I was like, oh, China, they're doing the chanting thing. I like the chanting thing. And they gave us like what it said, and this woman in front of us, this white lady, was like, she was like mad at us that we weren't chanting enough. Who gives a shit? First time I went to Asia, I'd see these little Buddhist temples all throughout the city, in Singapore, and people just go in there and pray and throughout their day. They didn't force it on you. No one was handing out a thing. You're going to hell if you're not a Buddhist. That's a whole different mentality. But was this a U.S. bioweapon? Let's ask that question before we start blaming this, calling this the Wuhan virus. Did China cover stuff up? Did they with the virus? Sure, probably. But look at us. Have we been so great in handling this? Trump got rid of the pandemic task force 2 years ago. That was a complete blunder. That was stupid. So I just cannot watch any more that crazy lady. Who's that crazy lady? She's one of those white ladies. I need to speak to your manager. She's been living in privilege her whole life. Rich, privileged white lady on Fox News spewing fear and nonsense about China. I bet her name's Karen. I need to speak to the manager. She's one of those women that you always see on those viral videos of saying racist crap and says, I'm not a racist. But why do those Koreans come over here and they don't speak English? Like, she's one of those ladies. If you've ever worked in retail or food service, you were ever a waiter, and you saw a woman like that, you'd go, oh God, and she's always the one that's going to complain, cause a problem. She's the one at the comedy club. It's her birthday, and she's a disaster and tries to hijack the whole comedy show and wants the whole fucking club to acknowledge, it's her birthday. Like, what are you, 5? That's who that is. That's another stupid face of America. America, pull your head out of your ass and stop being so goddamn dumb before you blame anybody else. This is a pretty stupid country. We're pretty dumb. So we got to stop being dumb first before we can criticize anybody else. You know what I mean? It's like a guy with smoking meth, disaster, losing his teeth, face tattoos, saying to that guy, wow, you're drinking too much beer. Easy, meth head. Let's put the pipe down before, the guy with has a couple too many beers at the game. Maybe he is an alcoholic, maybe, but let's deal with your meth problem first. You face tattooed junkie. Get into rehab. America, get your head out of your ass and get into rehab. We sound like the addicts who blame everybody else and won't look at all the problems we're creating. You ever met those people in your life? It's always somebody else's fault. And it's like, well, no, you created that. And they always have some excuse. Oh, the woman at the DMV screwed me over. And then you you unpack the whole, first you go, wow, that sucks. The woman at the DMV screwed you over, man. And then you hear the story and they're like, yeah, so getting the new tags on my car, I mean, I paid it 2 months late and this cop pulled me over and I should have paid it. And, I had like 1 beer in my car and the cop got me a DUI. And then, man, okay, you're the idiot. All you had to do was pay your DMV tags on time, not drink in your car. And the woman at the DMV, maybe she is a pain in the ass, but you caused this problem. I don't have problems with the woman at the DMV because I pay my tax. I just do it by mail. That's who America is. It's always somebody else's fault. Give me a break. Ugh. Before we blame China, let's talk about the fact we don't have free health care in this country before we blame China. Let's talk about people like Cuomo who has shut down all these hospitals. There's 20,000 less hospital beds in New York because of Cuomo. That means he helped contribute to all of those deaths in New York. So before we start screaming at China, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact we were ill-prepared for this pandemic, and doctors and scientists have been saying, get prepared, a pandemic's coming. They've been saying this for decades. So before we do that, let's talk about we need Medicare for all. China has not prevented us from having Medicare for all. China didn't create a for-profit healthcare system. China has free healthcare for its citizens. So we need that first. We need to stop spending all this money on war. China doesn't spend all this money on war. They don't outspend the next 10 countries combined the way we do. So let's get it straight here, okay? Guy that's 150 pounds overweight, eating a pizza and a beer, walking into a gym going, hey, you're doing that wrong. You should lift, you need more cardio. Okay, friend, put the pizza down and let's talk. You are not going to train anyone. Thanks for watching the show. Boom. What's up, citizens? Sam Dean, what's up, brother? Shave your knuckles for justice. G'day, quick change of pace. Got any guilty pleasures, mate? A movie or food or terrible song? Remember, self-deprecation can be a sign of strength. I'll tell you, guilty pleasures. The movie Rudy is a cheesy football movie, and I love it. I love it. It is, I like female pop singers like Britney Spears and stuff like that. And not for the like, ooh, they're cute, like creepy. I love pop song music. Dance song, dance party, dance party. That's why I did Palm Strike Dance Party, because I just wanted to make a song that's just all party, party, dance, dance, party, party. I love that. That Justin Timberlake song, Can't Stop the Feeling. That song, I can't sing. I love that song. Not in a cheesy, like, oh, it's so bad, it's good. Like, I love it. Can't stop the feeling. All I want to do is dance, 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 dance. Good feeling. Dance. Like, I love that. Those are my guilty pleasures. And Coke Zero. I'm ashamed to admit it. I love Coke Zero. I rarely drink it, but it's a guilty pleasure. Cureforcancer.co. Shave your knuckles for justice. I'm not going to read that. No, I'm not reading that. That's going to jam me up. So you're barking up the wrong tree. Hey, Mayor, shave your knuckles for justice. Chat has been broken for a week. Doesn't load without constantly reloading. One request. Please cut out whiskey in a t-shirt segments from March 3rd for $5 Patreon. Okay. All right. I will. Yes, I'll tell my editor to do that. And put the I got a little stimulus money for employees, not a lot. So I've been able to hire my editor back again. So, which means I can cut up more segments and stuff. So I will definitely do that. Johnny Wishbone, what's up, Johnny Wishbone? Thank you for supporting the show. Really appreciate it. The myth of the lamestream media. Actually, if it was not tragic and dangerous, it would be funny. Yeah, I know. It's part of the whole ruling class plan. Part of the CIA to put out propaganda. Part of all that. You watch Mockingbird, Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra. It's all part of that. All part of that, man. Thank you, Johnny. Really appreciate it. Hey, Mares, boom. When I feel depressed, I watch the 3-3 stream. Oh, that warms my heart. Thank you. Melissa H. Shave your knuckles for justice. What can you use your Rockfin credit for, Graham? So here's, and I'm no crypto expert, but I'm getting more knowledgeable about it. So there's this marketplace where you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies, because there's, I don't know, 24, maybe more, maybe there's 100, I don't know. But I think there's about 24 crypto, like Bitcoin is one, Ethernet or something, I don't know, there's a bunch of them. So you can trade it, you can convert it into actual US dollars, which when I'm watching it like a stock, when it starts getting up there, I'm gonna, liquidate some of it. I was gonna liquidate some of it to pay for Ron and I's. We were gonna shoot a comedy special last month in Portland. That didn't happen. It was gonna be the first ever crypto finance special. It's gonna be cool. You can convert it to Bitcoin, which is gonna go up in value, I'm told, because they're gonna have it, which I kind of understand. Some of you might understand it more. So yeah, you can convert it. I mean, I could convert it to Aussie dollars. I could convert it to euros. I could convert it to Canadian money. I can convert it to any of the other cryptos. So they're paying me in a cryptocurrency that I can then convert to whatever. Does that make sense? Kelly Jones, shave your knuckles for justice. I think that Fox News lady is so gung-ho, we would have airdrop her over China and just let her lead the way. I'm all for it. I'm all for it, Kelly Jones. I'm all for it. Louise Brooks, what's up, Louise? How you doing? Shave your knuckles for justice. Xanadu Beyond Cheesy, roller skates and leg warmers. Oh yeah. And a great song. Xanadu. Olivia Newton-John. Perfetto. Perfetto. All right, folks. Yeah, I'm doing there. So I'm learning more about crypto myself. There's Bitcoin has a YouTube channel. And so they have like a Bitcoin 101, and they basically I just watched that Bitcoin 101. They look like they have a whole playlist, which I'm going to start watching and get more knowledgeable on. And as I get more knowledgeable on it, I'll start doing some videos on it. Maybe I'll have somebody on an interview. I have a friend of mine who knows a lot about it. And I'll see if she's available for an interview and we can talk more about it. Maybe I'll try to get Max Kaiser on the show. That'd be awesome. Bitcoin is expensive, but you can buy percentages of a Bitcoin. You know what I mean? When I get my next stimulus check, I will donate to the show. I'm broke at the moment. Hey, I appreciate that. Xanadu or War Pigs for Carry? I'm going to do Xanadu. I appreciate that. And I understand a lot of people are in a tough situation. So there's a lot of free ways to support the show. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, put the videos out on your social media. That really helps. Even if you only have a couple hundred followers, all that stuff helps. I have a Pandora channel, which for my 2 comedy albums, it's a Graham Elwood. So it's both my stand-up albums. It's free. You can listen to it. There's other stand-up comics they put on there. If you just want to laugh, and there's stand-up on there, and any of the tracks of mine that you listen to and you click thumbs up, I get residual income from Pandora. So you get free stuff and I get paid. It's a great free way. So all those free ways to support the show. And if you are at money, there's patreon.com/Graham Elwood, rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. There's grahamelwood.com where I sell Earbuds podcasting documentary, DVD. It's on sale for $15, includes free shipping. That's with Joe Rogan, Mark Maron, Doug Benson, Aisha Tyler. There's the Live from Afghanistan stand-up comedy. It's me performing at 6 different bases in Afghanistan and Kyrgyzstan. That's on sale for $15, includes shipping. There's the Comedy Film Nerd Guide to Movies, which is a movie review book. And the Political Vigilante t-shirt. So the book and the t-shirt are $25 each, and includes free shipping. And then I'm going to start selling my tea. I'm going to release that video. Jeffrey at ZT, ZHITEA, has made a specific green tea blend that's never been made before, specifically for me, called Vigilante, and we're going to just sell 50 tins of it. That's going to be for sale in the next couple of weeks as soon as I get it. That'll be $20 shipping included, so that'll be awesome. Shade Wishbone. 244 likes. Hit the like button. Live from Afghanistan is awesome. Thank you, Backyard Politics. Thank you for watching that. And I give like a percentage of the sale, of the retail sale, well, even the marked up price that's on sale, of Live from Afghanistan. I donate money to the disabled American veterans. So it's cool in that regard. And the DVDs, obviously, it's an older medium, so I'm not making any more of those. So once those are sold out, they're gone. I just put them on sale. It's cool. And there's a lot of bonus content on both of them, especially Earbuds has all this bonus content. So it's really cool that you can't get when you do the live streams, or the downloads, rather. All right, let's do Xanadu. Hit the like button. Go to grahamelwood.com, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me at Graham Elwood. Xanadu Karaoke.
So Lit Mobile just sent me this solar wireless battery pack. I'm excited. Let's see what's inside. I really like the build.
These guys should give me a free one. All they ad time every time I play that ad. Xanadu as William Shatner. A place where nobody dared to go on a 5-year mission. The love that we came to know. They call it Xanadu. Xanadu. And now, open your eyes and see. What we have made is real. We are in Xanadu. A million lights are dancing. And there you are. A shooting star. An everlasting love. And you're here with me. Eternally. Xanadu. Xanadu. In Xanadu, you can wear short shorts and knee-high stockings. Xanadu. Spock. Xanadu. In Xanadu. Xanadu, your neon lights will shine for you in Xanadu. The love, the echoes of long ago. You needed the world to know they are in Xanadu. The dream that came through a million years. It lived through all the tears. It came to Xanadu on a 5-year mission to boldly go where no man had Xanadu'd before. A million lights are dancing, and there you are, a shooting star and everlasting love. And here you are with me eternally. Xanadu. Mr. Sulu set a course for Xanadu. In Xanadu, this is how we love on my planet. Xanadu. Open up a hailing frequency, Uhura, to Xanadu. 5 to beam up from Xanadu. Now that I'm here, now that you're near in Xanadu, now that I'm here, now that you're near in Xanadu, I should just beam you up rather than talking about being all this near. Scotty, fix the beam up capabilities in Xanadu. Live long and prosper in Xanadu. That was fun. Oh, great choice, Louise Brooks. Great choice. Well, what happened now? Oh, they're being crazy.
Let me give you some advice.
I'm gonna get a copyright thing.
The process.
The process. Let me tell you about your process. Louise Brooks, thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I'm so glad. Thank you, Louise. I'm glad that made your day. Oh, I love doing the show. Thank you, Sam Dean, for starting the karaoke thing like a year or so ago, whenever it was. Because it's always a fun way to end the show, no matter what we talk about. Amen to Space Cadets out there. Thank you, everybody, for coming on the stream. I will be doing tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Pacific, rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. That'll be for Rockfin members. It's only $10 a month to join. You get access to all the premium content. And if you can't make that, no worries. I will always pull out some of the clips from it And then I'll be streaming in on YouTube on Tuesday. I'll announce the time on my Twitter, which is @GrahamElwood. But hit the bell notification. Make sure you're subscribed, and because YouTube has unsubscribed people, and hit the bell notification, even if you have in the past, because they've unchecked that for people. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for supporting what I do. Go to GrahamElwood.com. Dropping clips every day. And as I said, this live stream will be behind the Patreon at the $10 level. Thank you so much, everybody. Be safe, everybody. In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree where Alf, the sacred river, ran through caverns measureless. All right. Thanks, Maki. Thanks, Karaoke Closet. You're all making Gotham great again. Thanks for being on the show. I love having these discussions, even debates. They're healthy to have. They're good for all of us. You're all political vigilantes. Make Gotham great again.